hold up a finger or something and let me know so we can cut it off and stop you, okay?
Right.
The first thing I'm going to demonstrate for you guys are dry measuring cups. And you're going to use your dry measuring cups for a variety of items that you measure. If you are measuring peanut butter or a solid vegetable shortening, you're going to use your measuring cups, your dry measuring cups. To do that, you would take the measuring cup, you would take a knife or a straight edge, take your peanut butter or your solid vegetable shortening, and you would pack the cup with the peanut butter or the Crisco. We have clear colored cups so that you can see if there's an air bubble in the bottom. You would pack it down in until it's up over the top, and then using a straight edge, not a butter knife but a straight edge, you want to level the peanut butter off. And there you have correctly measured peanut butter, or you would also do the same method to measure your vegetable shortening. When you take it out of the measuring cup, you're going to want to use a rubber spatula, scrape the inside of the cup so that you get all of your ingredients out and into your mixing bowl. Something else that you're going to pack into these dry measuring cups would be brown sugar. Brown sugar has moisture in it. So it's one of the very few products that we are going to pack. But we must pack it to measure it accurately. So you're going to place the brown sugar in your measuring cup, and because I've got a large Ziploc bag, I can use the edge of the bag to protect my hand, and I can press it into the cup. Then I'm going to use a straight edge, and I'm going to level that brown sugar off. And if you've done it correctly, it should hold its shape, just like when you play in the sandbox with moist sand. This is correctly measured brown sugar. Regular sugar, regular white granulated sugar, you do not need to pack. All you need to do with it would be scoop it and level it. Okay? So dry measuring cups are used for shortening, they're used for peanut butter, they're used for brown sugar, and what's the one ingredient that we pack in? Brown sugar. Another ingredient that we're going to use our dry measuring cups for will be our flour. When we measure flour, you want to avoid scooping flour, and for the first few recipes that we make in class, we're going to want to sift our flour. So I'm going to take a sheet of wax paper. I'm going to go to my flour bin. I'm going to just scoop in a mountain of flour and place it into the sifter. I'm going to come to my wax paper. I'm going to sift my flour.
What do you sift it?
I sift the flour to incorporate air. Incorporating air is how flour is meant to be measured, with air incorporated in it. Then you use what's called the dipping method. You're going to use a spoon and you're going to gently lift the flour and place it into the cup. Then using your straight edge, you're going to level it. Now you have accurately measured 1 cup of sifted flour. For your biscuits, your muffins, your pancakes, you're going to want to sift your flour before you measure it. The flour that's left over on your wax paper can simply go back to the canister and be placed back in your canister. So flour can be sifted before it is measured. Glass measuring cups or liquid measuring cups are used to measure liquid ingredients like vegetable salad oil, canola oil, olive oil. And when you're measuring with liquid measuring cups, you want to make sure that you line up the line of the measuring cup and the curvature of the liquid. Does anyone know what that curvature is called from your science classes in a test tube?
Bulb.
Pardon me?
Bulb.
No, it's called the meniscus.
Oh.
Is that familiar? It is this slight curvature that you get when you pour a liquid. So if I were going to measure into this cup and I were to measure 1/2 cup of water, I would set my water on a level surface. I would get down at eye level and I would measure until that curvature, the bottom of it, is directly on the line for 1/2 cup. Does that make sense to everyone? Other utensils used for measuring would be our measuring spoons. Measuring spoons are designed for all small quantities that we'll be measuring. For instance, it might be that we're measuring baking soda or baking powder in these two containers, in which case I would pop open the spoon side of the top. If my recipe called for 1 teaspoon of baking powder, I would retrieve 1 teaspoon. I would use the edge of the container to level it, and then I would place it into my container. Baking soda has the same type, straight edge built on the top of it, and you would retrieve your baking soda and use the top of the box to level it. Now, we would also measure salt, although salt is more difficult for us to measure because it has a pour spout on it. So for the salt, I would take the salt canister to a trash can. I would pour the salt into the teaspoon. I would tap with my finger until it is level and then place it in my container to take it back to my kitchen. Don't ever measure salt directly over your bowl that you're mixing your ingredients in because you'll have that extra salt in the bottom. If I were measuring cream of tartar, again, the top of the lid, I've got a sprinkle spout, a pour spout, and a spout for my measuring spoon. I would slide it in, measure my ingredient, level it as it comes out, and put it into my bowl. Also with these measuring spoons, we may measure flavorings, such as vanilla. So measuring spoons are used not only for dry products, but also for liquid products.
That's vanilla flavoring.
It is vanilla, imitation vanilla flavoring. Do you have any questions about measurement? Okay, that's good. You may stop the video.